Hello, my boon companions. It's me, Nikki, and today I am here to do something a little different. I'm a little nervous about it. This was in my March things I want to do, and it is talk about my book that I've been writing for years, and I've had really bad writer's block. My grandma died a couple years ago, and then it just sort of like took the wind out of my sails, I guess, and I didn't really feel like doing much of anything. My mom was very depressed. And then once I got out of the habit of writing, I never really got back into the habit. So this video series, I guess, about my book is sort of, explain it and share it and maybe inspire me and, that kind of stuff. I don't even know if anybody wants to read this. Hopefully they do. I want to read it. This is the type of thing I'd like to read. Yeah, I don't know if I'm a great writer. That hasn't stopped other people, but I'd like to try anyway. So yeah, let's get started. First, this is my book. I've had this since I was a kid. I don't even know why I called him Freddy. This is whiteout. I don't know if anybody else used to do that on their notebooks, use whiteout. I don't know where those clown stickers came from. And then I started as like a writing journal about like why you want to write and all that stuff, and I've written some poems in here, and then I finally started writing my book. You don't want to see this other stuff that's in here. If I can ever... Oh, it's right there. I thought maybe I'd written some stuff before it, but no. This is where it starts. I've got little tabs. As you can see, I've changed it. This was chapter 1 event when I started, but I decided to change it around. Right now there are 13 full chapters and about a couple pages of a 14th chapter. My goal is to have 20 chapters. And when I handwrite, because I handwrite it, that's how I work, it looks very long, because I only write on one side. No, I did write on both sides. And it's like, oh, it's so many pages. And then when I go to type it up, one chapter is like that long. So, I'm also hoping to get into the habit of describing. Because I come from a fan fiction background, you never have to describe a character. So, like, if it was Harry Potter, you wouldn't have to describe Harry Potter. You would just say Harry. You don't even have to say his hair color or his eye color. I mean, people do, but you don't have to. So yeah, that's something I have to break out of. I've never been very good at describing things that are in my head, and that's probably something I should work on if I want to get my book published. And then this little folder is everything in the world. So I guess I should tell you about my book. It's about a girl, a young woman, because I was about 20-ish when I started writing it, so that's how old she is. And she is transported into a magical fantasy world where things are different, obviously. And it's also, there's lots of, like one of the main characters is called a prince, but they are female. biologically. And they think of themselves as female as well, but they don't have gendered pronouns. They are they. And I just thought that was interesting. So there's a lot of that, and it's a lot of gay and lesbian, LGBTQ plus representation. Hopefully, I can only do my best because I'm not a trans person. I do like to ask those questions, like how would you like, because I don't want to insult anyone, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't want to be ignorant when I write it as well. But yes, a lot of the time that doesn't really matter. Like, obviously, if you're trans, it literally doesn't matter. If you're lesbian or gay or asexual or bisexual, it literally doesn't matter. And I've also tried to add a lot of people of color as supporting characters. I made a Tumblr about it. I put up inspiration pictures of, like, that's how the character looks in my head. I'll link that down below as well. It's a lot of actors and actresses, obviously. So, I made maps. I was very into map making at some point. Where's the big map? I made a calendar. I made, like, days of the week. Yeah, okay, here's the, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's on graph paper and it's written in pencil. Ooh, is that it? Yeah, there it is. That's my world, Roa. There's 2 continents. And that's what it looks like. I'm hoping, yeah, there we go. And all of these names, actually, I didn't come up with them. I found a fantasy name generator, and it would do people and places and book titles, and I was like, oh yeah, because that way I don't have to really think of it, but I saw them and I go, ooh, that's a good one. How's that interesting, and how would that fit in? Because I think some of them, like Fog Coast Point and Strange Shore, you know, they showed up and I go, ooh, those are interesting. Where would those be? Yeah, and that's just the main continent of the first book. And like the city names, again, I didn't come up with that. And this is the main kingdom. Myra Lamas is how I'm saying it, so that's canon, I guess. Ooh. Ooh. And yeah, you can see where her name's Laura, where she starts out and where she goes. And this is, it's green. I don't think that's really showing up on camera. If it's blue, it's water, so the sea and the lake and the river. If it's green, that is grass. And there's, you can't really see, oh, there it is. That's purple down there. Those are mountains. So yeah, it's a lot of, like, I imagine it like Myra Lamas as like Ireland, sort of like flat and green, and that's basically what that is to me anyway. What is, oh yeah, and this is, I got the names mixed up for a second. This is Pro-Gan, the opposing kingdom to Myra Lamas. And as you can see, they have lots of mountains. It's very cold. It's sort of like Winterhold in Skyrim, or that capital city that I can't remember right now, and I'll Google it. Capital city. Solitude. Is it solitude? Solitude. This one's on the fly, so. And of course, I'm still learning to edit. No, not solitude. Where is it? Oh, frick. Windhelm. So it's a little bit like Windhelm and Winterhold. That's how I imagine it. Like, because down there, that's all like the field lands, but then it's close to Mirlamas, so nobody really lives there. They all live up here at the Black Castle. And then we've got some mountains over there where dwarves, and I don't know about dwarves, but dragons certainly live there. And then right over here, it's Deep Vale, and it's literally like a valley, a deep valley, and it's got like mountains on either side. I don't have a map for that yet because the characters haven't gone there yet, and I'll make one. And then this one is the Kingdom of Onrad, and it is a pirate kingdom, essentially, and a trading kingdom. And yeah, it's just like Pirates of the Caribbean times 100. That's how I imagine that. Because they live on the sea, and they've got all these islands, and right there, oh, you can't see that, sorry. I'm still learning. Eastmill is sort of like the trading hub, and it's neutral. It has wants nothing to do with the war between Krogan and Mirlamas, and everybody can come there and just don't cause any trouble, and everything is fine. And Krogan, on the big map, you can see looks a little bigger, but it's just a lot of cold and wintry stuff. And this is all the cities that came up. Woo, focus. And then that's the eras that I came up with down there. The Destitute Age, the Expanding Time, the Blessed Century, and the Bloodstained Time. And those are named that way for a reason. Oh, did I come up with those? Or did the generator come up with those? I don't remember. But they're still good. This is a relationship guide, which you can't look at because spoilers. I try not to tell anybody. Oh, here's my calendar. I'm like such a nerd. I actually came up with a calendar. Here it is. The Roa calendar. It's 7 days in a week, 4 weeks in a month. 310 days a year, 44 weeks a year, plus 2 extra days. And I did that because I am bad at math, and I wanted it very simple. So, there is, I think, the generator came up with these names, or I found them. So, there's Ionir. I have it how to pronounce it because even I can't pronounce it. So that's basically January. Fiab, February. Martha, Aubrey, Beltane. These might actually be Irish, but I don't remember where I got them. Meiv, right there. Owil, Asa, Foir, Deri, Zawin, and Null. And then there's also Null is basically December, but it's 2 days long. And then of course each day has a name. Luna, Mart, Easamon, Triach, Satyr, and Solus. So, like, they're not super. And then the special days are Imbolc and Blien. I should probably learn how to pronounce them. I'm not good at pronunciation, not even in things that I've come up with. So, you know, the day names aren't, like, super special. And then each month has a special, like, holiday. So, Null is obviously the day, but then it also continues into the first day of Eonir. And I just picked them at random. And then, of course, at the bottom, those are red. If it's purple, it is days about another character. And then if it's blue, those are days about Laura and her dog. There's a dog in it. I thought that would be cool to have a dog in it. Almost like Toto. So yeah, I'm actually really proud of that calendar. And then this is the special days. There's a ruler birthday, and it changes when the ruler dies. And yeah, I don't want to like spoil them because some of them are spoilers. Oh, but I mean, you can. I didn't even tell you the characters. I don't have to show you the relationships. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. What is this? Oh, this is how I came up with the days. This is another relationship chart. Let's stick those together. I've kept everything. So there is Laura. There is Connor, Oscar, Frida, Elric, Amis, and I got all of these names from behind the name. So the names do mean something. I looked up the meaning and this is it. There's Aaron. There's Adina. Ooh, I came up with names and then I thought I could pronounce it. Rioganach. I'm pretty sure I butchered that. Ainsley, Wilton, Smith. Cadern is the bad guy. And then there is other people. There is... Some of these people don't show up in the first book. They're more like for other books. But I basically came up with a lot of characters and I know where they're going to go. Let's see. Oh, this is about the characters. Her name is, the main character is Laura Winters, and I imagine her as Emma Stone with long red coppery hair. Yeah. I talked about all those people. Oh, here's how you say it. Rhiannoch. This is all about Laura. She's 22. She's having... Oops. No, this is the way to go. She's got 3 siblings. She's going to college. She has a dog. He looks like a husky Malamute mix. His name is Dakota, because I've always wanted a husky Malamute mix named Dakota, so I am fulfilling my fantasy that way. Yeah, and I basically just wrote a lot about Laura at first. And I haven't gotten to any other character. And this is... Oh, the timeline. I should put it with those other papers. So yeah, that's... I mean, yeah. The book is... Laura shows up. there's a reason she has red hair. It's because, let's see if I can find that map again. No, not that one. I gotta organize it better. Right here, it says there are 2 continents. The one that they're on, Eston, and then there's Orda, which is out past Fog Coast Point, and it's where red-headed people came from that invaded Eston and took over, and they were just awful to everybody, and everybody was like, no. And they did it for centuries, maybe longer. And then they finally were pushed back somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where. And redheaded people were shit upon. If you had red hair, you were basically trash. And then something happened to change that. And then a couple more decades passed, and by the time Laura shows up, red hair is, again, something to be feared. They think you're evil. Yes. And then it's her job to stop the bad guy. Let me go to my Tumblr. There we go. Because I even have all the book titles. Legend of the Red King, The Emperor's Bone, Key of Stardust, The Last Knife, Twilight of the Queen, and Hour in the Inheritance. I believe all of those were from a name generator, and I sort of like pick and chose the words that I liked the best. It's still a work in progress, my Tumblr. Hello? Go back. I don't know why I'm doing that. And I've tried to tag all the characters in the books that they show up in. And it's got the pictures of everybody who I want to describe those characters as. And I'm hoping like the pictures will be like just an incentive to describe better, because if I pick like who do I have? I know I have people that other people would know. Like Mila Jovovich. Most people have seen Mila Jovovich, but if you haven't, you need to. And she looks different in this than how she normally does. Yeah, I just have a lot of people, and I should describe them better than I have been doing. Ugh. So, that's it in this first episode. I don't know when I will make a second episode. Maybe I can talk about like what I have written so far and how to expand it. I don't know, I just thought this would be fun and interesting and something different. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.